All right, welcome, kings and queens, y'all. Today we're back and we are talking wags to riches. I told you I got you. Just give me a little bit of time and we're here. Wags to riches, episode season one. Season one. If we're not counting the original franchise, and this is actually a production that's being produced by Charelle Rosado. Okay. I'm getting her confused with Evelyn Lozada. Their names are very similar. But WAGs to riches. WAGs actually stand for wives and girlfriends. Okay. So this I'm gonna step out because there's still room to grow. And what I mean by room to grow, I'm gonna say it's gotten off to a good start. The show has gotten off to a good start outside of how you feel about each individual woman, right? Now, my two favorites are MJ and Sade. MJ and Sade are two real ass bitches to me. Sade is something about you, girl, that is just special. I'm following you. I like you. You are a natural born leader. And the fact that you did not allow Charelle to punk you and you stood up and you actually, you know what you did? You punked her. You caused Charelle to find her fucking manners when it came to how she was going to address you. She didn't do it in the group at large, but when y'all met one on one later on in the other episode, she found her manners, and that's all that matters, y'all. That's all that matters. Sade, do not take your foot off the gas. You are a natural born leader, and if you play your cards right, and I hope you have the tenacity to stay, I really do. Girl, I can see you quickly rising to the top and taking the throne of this show because you were a leader and you, for some reason, to me, y'all, I hope y'all are watching. Sade is the one that's married to Chosen. She's a darker. She's not real dark, but she's the browner. She's one of the browner of the light skins. Okay. She's dating the guy named Chosen. They've been dating for 9 years, and there's a possibility that she may be pregnant. Okay. And they're kind of coming after her. And Charelle, I think you're coming after her because that's a beautiful younger girl, younger woman. In some ways, you're intimidated because you cannot intimidate her. I like that about you, Sade. Keep showing up, keep doing what you do, keep standing on business, and keep walking in your purpose. Now let's shift to MJ. MJ's full name is Miranda, but they call her MJ. She's one of Kodak Black's baby mamas. Ooh, I hate saying that damn word, baby mama. I just hate it. And MJ, I think you are better than a baby mama. You seem to have your head on straight. You've made some mistakes, but you seem solid if you get around the right women, if you get around the right crowd. And I want so much more for you. And I don't think it's Kodak Black. And I may be getting ahead of myself, y'all, because I didn't expect to go this deep so quick on these two individuals. But I'm just telling you, my two standouts, my two faves thus far. Both of these women appear to be very true to themselves, and I'm digging it for you, MJ. MJ said that MJ knows that she wants to cultivate and have a family. Okay. And she said the reason why she wants to do so is because she didn't have her father in her life. Now, here's my thing to you, MJ. If that's truly what you want, then you've got to stop picking things that do not align with what you say you want, right? Because if you truly want to cultivate a family, let me tell you what sounds better than baby mama. Wife. The wife of Kodak Black. Because when we say baby mama, you may as well fall in line. I think there's 6, maybe 7 of you. You become one of the others. It's nothing standoutish about you. And we're just waiting for him to trade you in. And that's not an insult to you, but I'm just telling you from here on out, the next man that I see you with, I would like to introduce you as MJ, Miranda, the wife of Mr. So and so. If you, if you faint not, because I think you deserve it. I think you're very strong for your age. I think you've gone through a lot. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Okay. So let me shift to Charelle. Charelle. I understand what Charelle is doing and what she's trying to do. She's trying to massage the dialogue so that this show is a bang. But I think you're out of sync and I think you're out of order and I think your Libra skills have failed you. Some Libras tend to be very extreme. Either one end of the spectrum or the other. And Charelle is just, girl, it's just giving bitter. It's giving unhappy. And I think whatever it is that you're going through in your life with Chad, it's showing up. And I can't even really put it on Chad because to be honest with you, I think it started before Chad, which is what probably caused you to poke or kind of sniff around his inbox to want to have a one night stand with him, even though you were married. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said it. Um, this is going to be a very hard lesson for Charelle because she's always the boss bitch in her circle. Not to be confused with the boss Mel. Charelle is always the head bitch in charge as it relates to the women that she surrounds herself with. Okay. Now, she may subdue herself or surrender for just a quick second when she gets around particular men so that she can gain access to what they have or more insight into what they are offering. But when it comes to the women, there is no flexibility, in my opinion. There's little to no flexibility. So even though you say, I can't be around anybody that I cannot gain anything from, I think that's a lie. I think you enjoy dominating the other women. I think you enjoy being the leader of the pack. I think anything other than that makes you feel insecure. And if you are not careful, Charelle, they're going to come for your head. People always come for the top spot. Okay. I just told you, I said, Sade, go for it. I think if you're smart, fall back next season. If you get a next season, fall back just a little bit so you can see who is what and what pieces or position where on the chessboard. I think you have to fall back if you're going to save your relationship with Chad Ochocinco because watching you and Chad on the screen, let me tell you what is given. Power struggle. Chad described you as mounting him in one of the scenes. And immediately what I thought about was Animal Kingdom. Because in Animal Kingdom, the male mounts the female. And I said, damn, is she the man in the relationship? Because he said, I have to put her on a schedule because she's ready to go. She wants to mount me. That's what the male does to the female in Animal Kingdom. But let's talk about it, y'all. For those of you who are just tuned in or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so we're talking Wags to Riches episode 1 this season, y'all, in 2025. I want to focus on two aspects. I want to focus as the women and a coupleship with the men. And I would also like to focus on the women as individuals, right? Coming on the show. If we think about the women as coupleships, before I jump into my thoughts, I do want to say that this show, I said it before, I think it's going to be a pretty good show if they can find their rhythm, right? Or it has the potential to be a good show, but I'm only on episode number 1. And I think if there's going to be a downfall, the downfall of the show may be that there are just too many women. There's too many women. I couldn't keep up. I found myself having to take notes. Whoa, let me go back and rewind to make sure I got the names right, make sure I paired them off with the right men. Okay. So, Netflix, Charelle, executive producers, assistant producers, y'all are going to have to narrow it down. It's too many. It's too many. And if you want us to, because there is no way you can give all of them equal camera time. There is no way this can become a quality production with that many women. I'm sorry to say. I think there's 8 to 9 women. You need 5 to 7. 7 is pushing it. You need 3 to 5. Let's go there. 3, I would say 5. Anything above that, that's hard to do with the editing, the production, just giving quality content. You're gonna fail. It's too many fucking women. So for those of you that are tuned in, if you had to pick 2 that had to go, and you can't say Charelle because she's an executive producer, right? Who would you say? I think it's given a whole lot of colorism. Let me tell you why. Y'all, this show is giving so much colorism to me. I almost decided that I didn't want to watch it, and I'm glad I gave it the opportunity. But that does not excuse the fact that you do not have enough variety and diversity. The hell? The hell. It's funny to me. I always say this to Black people. I say, y'all are constantly begging and beating down the doors of other people for equity, inclusion, and diversity. And the first chance you get to roll out your own shit, there's no equity, there's no inclusiveness, and there's no diversity. The first thing she did was number one, include a lot of biracials. I say what I said. A lot of light skinned women and a lot of high paper brown, high color paper brown women. But there has to be a level of inclusiveness in order to reach a larger audience. All of these women are light brown to fair skin, to biracial, right? The only darkest skinned woman is Stony, who's an ex-girlfriend of Rick Ross. She's the only darker skinned woman. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure how dark. I just know she's darker than them. I've never seen her. I've never met her in person. I just know she's darker than them. And being that she's the only darker skinned woman, she's been introduced as an escort. There was no positive introduction regarding her at all. And if we work our way around that, even though she and Charelle, quote unquote, allegedly worked through that, Charelle, at the end of the day, her first appearance with you as she was walking off, you referred to her as a hood rat. Do y'all get what I'm saying? And when she and Charelle, or when she tried to speak to Charelle, she was very diplomatic. She was very diplomatic. She said, "You know what? This isn't working, this conversation inside the group. Charelle, can we go talk? Can I speak to you alone? You are very combative. You are very defensive. You are very privileged. You are very rude. To be honest with you, you was a straight up bitch to this girl in more ways than one, more ways than you've been to anybody else on the cast. So, yeah, I'm going to say it's a lot of colorism being featured. I don't think you want it to be for whatever reason. I think you know, and you realize that Chad ochocinco, I'm sorry, y'all. Chad likes them dark brown girls. He listen, he's an equal opportunist. He's an equal opportunist. And listen, you know what? I ain't gonna even say it. I ain't gonna say it right now. We shall see. How about that? We shall see. Now, the first people that I would like to hone in on is Charelle and Chad. I don't believe Charelle and Chad are as solid as they appear to be based on something he said on the golf course in episode 1, which leads me to believe that he may see Charelle differently than she thinks he sees her. Okay? I think Chad thinks that Charelle may be a little bit sexually aggressive, maybe a little bit too much for his taste. So I feel like he's put you on a dick schedule. I do, based on his commentary to the other guy and the other guy's wife, right? Now I had to go back and rewind to make sure that I heard what I thought I heard. And he said I have to put her on a schedule for her to mount me. And we talked about the symbolism and the definition of mounting. And I used the example of the Animal Planet earlier on. And I think in this realm of celebrity and stardom, you probably many of these women probably feel like um or they anticipate a man's needs. They feel like they have to anticipate a man's needs before he can ask. So I think a lot of these women have trained themselves to become very sexually aggressive, and they don't realize that they are aggressive. They feel like I'm here. I understand a man, but you really don't because he said I have to put her on a schedule to mount me. She's out of control. She's wild. That means he don't like what you putting in front of him. It's too much for him. I ain't never heard of a man putting a woman on a schedule. Now I've heard of women put men on schedules, but that to me that was a telltale sign, and I was like, "Oh shit, wait a minute. I don't think Chad is as sexually attracted to her as she thinks he is." And the more he becomes distant, in my opinion, you probably ramp it up and amp it up, and it creates more distance because my grandma used to say, "You chase if you chase a dog, he will run." And I think you chasing that dog, Charelle. I think you chasing that dog, and that dog don't want you. I'm just saying. And I think that's where a lot of your bitterness and your mean girl spirit is coming in this season of Wags to Riches. But hold on. I think it's a turnoff to him. And Charelle, you may be emasculating that man in the bedroom. As a matter of fact, I have a strong belief that I'm right because you did say you got into his DMs because you wanted to have a one night stand. You didn't want anything long term from him. Um, you wanted a one night stand, and that's a bit unconventional for a beautiful woman, for a light skin, right? To say out loud, for any woman to say out loud. So I don't believe Chad is as into you as you would like him to be. I think you overplayed your part. Ashley and her man. Let's talk about that very briefly. I'm not sure because I'm only on episode 1 and I haven't really witnessed Ashley's dynamic with her husband yet. I feel like Ashley's a beautiful girl, very beautiful home, but so far there's been nothing to write home about as it relates to Ashley, her storyline, what she can bring to the show, what she's doing, what type of business she's running, or anything like that. All I'm getting is just beautiful and stuck up. And here's the thing that you have to be careful um, about Ashley is when you fall in line behind a chick like Charelle, she's gonna surround herself with a handful of dimes, but she's gonna make sure she's the head bitch in charge. You offer it so far. You're not coming across as having much to offer, and you got to be careful because you can be replaceable. They can easily replace you on the show with or without her permission. And even though they've given her the title of executive producer, she really don't call the shots. I can tell that because there's the others on the show, the other women that she was not aware that were coming. So that tells me there's certain aspects where they make her feel like she has a little bit of control, and there are certain aspects where they're going to show her. And if you're not careful, I don't think you'll make it for season 2, Ashley. I think you're beautiful, but outside of that, not too much. All right. Let's talk about the Hill couple. I think her name is Keita. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And she's married to Tyreek Hill. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's way too many kids. That's way too many kids. And Keita, uh, he comes across as a bit immature, in my opinion. I don't know if I would rely on an NFL athlete as my bread and butter. And let me tell you why. Their money is not guaranteed. Now, this is called wags to riches. So don't be telling me not to judge. And Queen Sheba, they're here for love. Shit, bullshit. If you think they're here for love, child, bye. Child, boo. Let me tell you something about a woman that'll take a man with 10 kids. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8 baby mamas. Money. Money. Because love knows better. Love understands that there will be complexities. Love understands that a portion of that money is going to have to go outside of my house. And I love myself too much to do that to me. Let me tell you what'll make a woman like Keita, a woman like Charelle, a woman like MJ say, I'll sign up for that. Money, lifestyle, access to environments, people, places, and things that they could not get on their own. Let's be real, Charelle. Chad Ochocinco gave you life. He put you in front of his audience. I know you were quote unquote a self-made millionaire before you got with him, but we didn't know you. We weren't checking for you. You were not on our TV screens. And I'm going to get into you a little bit later. So when I'm looking at the Hill couple, no ma'am. No ma'am, Miss Pam. I don't know if I would rely on an NFL athlete as my bread and butter. They seem to be a bit off to me. He's used to being a star, in my opinion, and he had very brief appearances throughout this show. He talked a lot, and it could be, in my opinion, because of his age, his personality, or his immaturity. Okay, he talks a lot. And there's nothing wrong with talking a lot if you are saying something. But to me, he talked a lot, but he said nothing. Okay. I feel like he tried to downplay Chad's job, in my opinion. I think it was the first episode. But Chad had to let his ass know that the nightcap, the night show, this is making me a lot of money. And if the truth be told, young buck, this is what you should be focused on past the NFL, right? I feel like he was doing a little bit too much talking for my taste. I don't mind folks talking, but please make sure you got something to say. That's it. That's all. Let's talk real quick about Kodak Black, his baby mama MJ. No, ma'am, it's not going to work. It's not going to work between you and Kodak. And if you haven't broken up now, all you're doing is dragging it out. Both of y'all are lost, but I think MJ is going to be good for the show. I think she would be good for the show. I think there's some potential there with her if she doesn't have any more kids. Okay. Now, my question to you, MJ, is why would you purchase a $35,000 chain for an infant? I was sitting there shaking my damn head. I was so embarrassed. That's a waste of money, in my opinion. What are y'all's thoughts? Let's shift to the guy named Berto, the boxer. Berto is a retired boxer, right? And he has a wife named Portia. I'm not sure if I'm interested in Portia and her husband's storyline because she just don't seem like a real strong woman on this show. She seems like she can easily default to a follower and or a floater. And I don't know if this is I don't know. I don't know. It was giving me bland white people chicken, unseasoned meat when it comes to her. So I guess I'll have to stay tuned to give her a few episodes to come through. But so far, mm-mm. I need her to have a real strong spine. She seems like she's leaning on Charelle for clout, and she's also leaning on her husband for clout. So I don't know, y'all. Let me go to Sade real quick. I like Sade. Chosen, Chosen, her fiance. Either Chosen doesn't feel comfortable on camera or something else is going on in the background. Because I remember looking at him, watching him on screen, and thinking, what's going on with him? He just seemed out of pocket. He seemed out of place. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to pay attention in the next episodes. I like Sade. I don't know Chosen. I don't know or feel like if Chosen is the right fit for her on camera. That's it. That's all. All right, real quick, I want to go to just talk about the ladies individually, one on one. Stony. Stony is a baby mama of Rick Ross. Yeah. She's the only dark-skinned girl on the show, and she's currently being introduced as a escort. I don't know how I feel about that. She's also being introduced by Charelle as a person that likes to play victim. And Charelle feels like Stony could have controlled the leak of her sex tape. Now, Charelle, yeah, you are exhibiting colorism. And I said that a little bit earlier. And you may not have called her a monkey because Charelle, oh, watch this. Charelle did an interview with Funky Dineve and she says, there's no colorism on our show. We don't call each other names. And to me, you were low key shading Evelyn Lozada, which you should have, right? Because Evelyn did refer to OG as a monkey. And although y'all are not calling each other monkeys or you're not referring to each other um, like Evelyn did, but you called her a hood rat, bitch. You said we don't call each other out of our names. Bitch, you called her a fucking hood rat. Her name is Stony, not hood rat. So make it make sense. You forgot that quick? You sat up in that interview with Funky Dineva and said, there's no colorism. We don't call each other. Bitch, you were the first one to call somebody out of their name. Period, point blank. And you call somebody else a bitch. So, yeah, that's it. Now, Stony talks about her living in Rick Ross's mansion and how it's become a luxury prison. Now, my thing to you is you do know you can leave, right? You do know you live in America and it's 2025, right? You do know that. And then she went on to share how the sex tape came about because she was dating a guy after she finished dating Rick Ross. And she and the guy, they stopped dating. They had a fallout. And the reason why they had a fallout is because she caught him with another woman. She let the other woman know what time it was. He got revenge on her by leaking the sex tape. Now, let me say this. Before she shared that, she said he never, now that she thinks about it, he never really asked her permission if he could record her. He just started pulling out the recorder before they started the deed, right? He never gave her enough respect to even ask her, is it okay? Y'all, that's a fucking dangerous game to play. That's a dangerous game to allow a man to put you in a position where you don't have a choice. And I think, let me tell you what'll make a woman do that. Money. Quit playing with me. She said it was love. Girl, with no love, because you wouldn't let a postal worker, you wouldn't let a garbage man, you wouldn't let a mechanic do it to you. You wouldn't let somebody that worked at Kinko's, Domino's, Amazon pull out a tape. You would find your voice very quickly. So quit playing. That's why I like real women that are going to come on and tell the truth. You did it because he had money. And you did it because you thought this is what you needed to do in order to stay in those circles. Quit playing. So there's an aspect of what Charelle is saying that is true when you come on and play victim and you don't own that shit. Okay. Because you did have a right as a woman, but you probably felt like this is what I got to do to keep this man. Me and Rick already didn't work out. I already got other kids by somebody else. I got to prove I need access to this life. So as a result, when he whipped out those tapes and those videos, you didn't say anything because you wanted to be in that circle. Because I don't know if you know, but you are aware that you could have said, hold up, I'm not about that life. I'm up out of here, right? So there's another lady on the show. Her name is Alexis. She's the one that was married to Amari Stoudemire. I think that's his name. And she has dreads or locks. The jury is still out for me regarding Alexis. I don't have a dislike for Alexis. I'm just trying to figure out if this is who she really is or if she's playing it safe on camera. And I feel like she keeps her cards close to her chest. And maybe that's just a good move for reality television. So I haven't been able, she's very consistent though. I haven't seen her, I haven't seen her mask fall off, but she does a really good job of hanging out in the neutral zone. In a neutral zone. So I don't know. I have to watch. I have to see. Charelle. Let's talk about Charelle. I want to say, who the fuck is you, Charelle? And I think you're gonna have to be careful, Charelle, if you plan on having a season 2. Let me tell you why. The reason why I say that you may have to rethink your strategy because let me tell you something. They always come for the head bitch. And I not necessarily listen, y'all. I'm not saying that I think she deserves to be the head bitch. But I think when you come in that hard and that bitchy on a season 1, episode 1, yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Girl, that's you coming in hot. I understand the assignment of getting the show up off the ground, but your Libra skills, girl, they got you off the charts. But let's continue. I feel like when Charelle had her first conversation on camera that we witnessed with Stony, I feel like you was out of line trying to give that lady advice on what she should or should not have done in her bedroom. Not your fucking business. Stay in your place. HBIC, head bitch in charge. HBIC, MJ says you're too bossy. You're too hands on. You too pushy. HBIC, head bitch in charge. Be very careful, Charelle, because you're going to set yourself up to get your ass knocked up out of the show if you're not careful. I'm telling you. Listen to Auntie. Now, there's a girl on the show named Jules. They refer to her as a white girl. I don't know if she's white. I don't know if she's a different race. I don't know. They call her white girl and her name is Jules. And Jules, in my opinion, this is not about liking Jules. This is not about agreeing with Jules. But I think as it relates to this show, Jules understands the assignment. What do you mean by that, Queen Sheba? It's just work for her, in my opinion. And I think she just probably got a call from producers that they needed her for a show. She signed up and now she's here to work. That's it. That's all. See, black women, black people, black men, me, you, all of us included, sometimes we're too emotional. Sometimes we're looking for too much of a connection that we just can't simply get from other races. And if you understand it is what it is, you don't go outside of your community, outside of your territory, looking for other people to validate you, to understand your plight in life, to understand the struggles of you. You say, okay, you understand the assignment, so do I. Deal with the shit that I'm going to dish out to you on reality television, and I'm going to deal with the shit that you're going to dish out to me on reality television. But all of that, trying to lecture her into the importance of understanding not being a coach or vulture, stop wasting your time. Don't nobody care. She don't care. That lady is here because somebody called her and gave her a job. That's it. That's all. She signed up and now she's here to work. She's here to get a check, in my opinion. And it seems like her claim to fame is that she worked with Kanye West. She named off a few other things that she's done before working with Kanye, but don't nobody know her. Don't nobody know them folks. Don't nobody care. Other than that, her bus line is Kanye. So, what are we really doing, black women? Why are you wasting your voice? Why are you wasting your time trying to convert this woman to be holy, holy, holy? Stop it. That's it. That's my take of WAGs. Season 1, I'm going to say season 1, episode 1. Let's take it to the chat. What are your thoughts?